Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, Magnetic Reversal News, Shinrin Yoku, and Sacred Geography, bringing you a grand solar minimum update, Thursday, January 12th, 9 p.m. Mountain Time 2023. A landslide in Oregon has detached and dropped a highway 12 feet, but the big story coming in, governor says 6 people are dead in Alabama after severe storms and more than 24. Now the count's over 35 tornadoes hit the southeast. Keep calm. It's boom time. We warned about this potentially deadly outbreak 2 days ago, and sure enough, it happened. The long track tornado was likely EF2 or EF3, according to the governor. It was one of at least 34 tornadoes in the U.S., according to the National Weather Service, and the damage was widespread. If you come over to our Twitter feed, we've got lots of the coverage over the last maybe 10 hours. Here we have some video from Monroe County, EMA, looking at the damage of possible tornadoes that came down. Here we can see the strong tornado as it moved across northwest Elmore County. Pretty spectacular with that side funnel. Pretty amazing there. And here we can look at some footage. And the source here is from Skybama. It's a little low resolution, but you can get a picture of the state of the damage there. So lots of damage in the southeast. And our prayers and thoughts go out to the people. The loss of life and homes and structures. But there is some good news coming out from the storms. Extreme drought nearly eliminated in California in the wake of the atmospheric rivers. And a lot of people said this is impossible. But take a look. Here we have December 27th, 2022, extreme drought in Nevada and Central California there. And by January 3rd, just a week later, most of the extreme drought has been gone. And here we are on January 10th, California sitting pretty good, as water stored in California reservoirs rapidly begins spiking back to normal levels. The red line here is, in fact, I did know what that meant. There it is. The average storage in the reservoir, historic average storage. And you can see these are all spiking back up here. Oroville going back up to the historic average. Don Pedro now above the historic average, and many of these recovering quite nicely. This was from a day ago, so these have gone even higher. And the atmospheric rivers are going to continue to pummel the state for at least another week to 10 days. Here we can see New Bullards Bar above historic averages, and lots of the major water supplies looking incredible. McClure at historic average, Don Pedro, like we said. Sonoma approaching historic average. Kachuma well above the historic average. Diamond Valley, of course, approaching the historic average. Millerton is record average. And Pine Flat. So reservoirs, water supplies looking great in the west. As we have a record-breaking extreme rogue wave recorded in the Pacific Ocean, 17.6 meters high. The wave, which measured a 4-story building, was recorded by a sea buoy in November of 2022. Who knew? Now you do. Rogue waves are those that gain height of twice normal waves, and the wave was recorded by a sea buoy in 2022. And, well, they could be potentially dangerous. Proportionally, the Uselet wave is likely the most extreme rogue wave ever recorded. Only a few rogue waves in high sea states have been observed directly, and nothing of this magnitude. The probability of such an event occurring is once in 1,300 years. Well, unless there's a tsunami, when those happen probably more often. So there's that. Now, the landslide causing a 12-foot deep drop in the highway in Oregon obviously has caused some traffic nightmares, and more may be coming. Mammoth Mountain closes because of too much snow. Shut up, Al. Get in your hole. Global warming alarmists spewed nothing but climate doom last summer about how the world would imminently burn if no government action was taken. The folks operating Mammoth Mountain and the Eastern Sierra might be perplexed about that assumption, considering they've had to shutter operations this week because of too much snow. Due to continued intense snowfall, very difficult road conditions, and extensive avalanche mitigation work, the main lodge will be closed. And so, how do you like them apples? Here is the snowfall analysis from the last 72 hours. Hours of powers, 5 to 11 feet here in the Sierras, with 11 feet more predicted. More rain and flood in California as well. Wintry weather in parts of the east. We'll get to the full forecast in just a moment. The constant atmospheric river weather pattern will persist on Friday through the weekend, especially in saturated California. Heavy to excessive rain is expected in northern and central California, southwestern Oregon, and northwestern Washington on Friday, while heavy mountain snow will likely start in the Sierras once again. Meanwhile, some wintry weather is possible in parts of the east on Friday. And let's check it out. Here we are. You can see what's going to happen here. Here is that storm setting up to bring moisture and snow to the east. But we're talking, take a look at this. Friday, another atmospheric river is going to hit Northern California in the northwest, and it is going to ramp up Saturday, and Sunday will be your fun day as it's boom time. Heavy snow, 4 more feet by Monday morning should fall in the Sierras as that northeastern storm will rapidly move by. Let's take a look at the snow totals, and let's just hopefully, here we go. Here's Friday through your Saturday. All that snow is going to dump early in the weekend all the way up through the northeast. Biggest chances in northern Maine. It's insane. But there, in fact, has been a deficit in the snow up there, so this is good news for all that accumulation, bringing it back to some normal levels. Heavy snow in the southern mountains of the Appalachians, as well as the snowshoe region, is going to bring those ski areas back into form. And here's Saturday. Watch what happens in the Sierras. Boom, boom, boom. By Sunday and Monday morning, it'll be your fun day. Take a look at that. 4 or more feet of snow will be blanketing the entire Sierra crest as heavy snow moves into the Four Corners, dipping all the way down into the southern regions of Arizona and into Mexico by Wednesday. Hey. And then the system moves up through the Midwest Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and brings more snow to the northeast like a beast. Now, if you're wondering when snow's coming to Europe, I would say now. Take a look at these snowfall forecast totals. Here is Saturday, Sunday the 15th, Monday, January, Tuesday the 17th. By the 18th and 19th, you're looking at heavy snow through all of Europe in just the next week. Heavy snow, especially in Spain. It's insane. And then Italy is going to get blanketed, the Alps. And then by the end of these models, there is record snow falling throughout all over Italy, all over Germany, and northern Spain literally buried. Take a look at that. And it could be over, maybe in some areas, 200 centimeters of the global warming goodness. Huge swath of snow in northern Africa as well. And, well, the pattern looks quite intrepid. Even Heinrich Butenhuis's boyhood home, Denmark, could be seeing some snow here Tuesday, Wednesday, January 17th, 18th. Heinrich, look out for the snow. Seismic update, no quakes of note. We have an interesting rumbler in the east coast here, 2.64 kilometers east of Bergen, Kentucky. No one's plucky and not much going on worldwide, which is good news for most people that don't want to die in an earthquake. Space weather news update. The sun has gone all but quiet. A few M flares, nothing spectacular to report on, but we do have some big sunspot groups potentially lurking around the limb that could be turning around to face us. Let's look at the latest HMI intensity and see. Oh, there is a big sunspot right there, and it's going to be coming around the mountain as she comes. So we'll keep a close eye on that because that could be the one that sends us to the Stone Age. Probably not. Worldwide volcano news update. Well, let's refresh this in case anything blew up since we've started recording here. Nothing spectacular on the list. Sabancaya, 24,000. Querense, 14,000. Popo, Reventador, Sangay, Nevados de Ruiz, and Cotopaxi. Nothing going over the top, all normal activity. Now, surprise, surprise, a magma chamber is growing under the Mediterranean volcano we know as Santorini. Now, using a novel imaging technique for volcanoes that produces high-resolution pictures of seismic wave properties, a new study reveals a large, previously undetected body of mobile magma underneath Colombo, an active submarine volcano near Santorini in Greece. The presence of the magma chamber increases the chances of a future eruption, prompting the researchers to recommend real-time hazard monitoring stations near other active submarine volcanoes to improve estimations of when this eruption might occur. Now, nearly 400 years ago in 1650, Colombo breached the sea surface and erupted, killing 70 people in Santorini. Now, a study published in Geochemistry, Geophysics, and Geosystems was the first to use full-wave inversion seismic imaging to look for changes in magmatic activity, and they found some. And here is the graph, and I won't go over the specifics, but what they're saying is Colombo is found in a relatively shallow part of the Mediterranean Sea, around 500 meters deep, which according to the current estimations is likely to enhance its explosivity. And its explosivity may be similar to the Hunga Tonga. In fact, the characteristics of the magmatic system at Colombo indicates that a highly explosive eruption similar but of lesser magnitude than the recent Hunga Tonga eruption Haipai in the future may occur, according to the study's authors. Although danger doesn't appear to be imminent, an explosion at the Colombo volcano could be more disastrous than the Tonga eruption because of its proximity to the population center of Santorini, Greece, which is only 4 miles, just 7 kilometers away from the volcano. Now, a tsunami and an eruptive column of tens of meters or even kilometers high with large amounts of ashfall are predicted to occur when this volcano erupts. So, bad news for anyone living near Santorini. But they knew that already. Now, oceans are melting Greenland's glaciers 100 times faster than originally thought, a new report finds. Now, if this report were true, Greenland's ice would have already been melted as we perform this video. This is just insanity. The level of insanity and misinformation and just flat out lying that the mainstream media, in collusion with fake stream and lamestream science, how can anything be melting hundreds of times faster than originally thought and still be there? It's complete insanity. And the fact is that Greenland's surface mass budget has been above the 30-year average for ice building on Greenland for the last 4 months. It's in fact a record year of ice building on Greenland. The exact opposite of what they're reporting on. Now, a giant fireball was seen shooting across the Texas sky, and we have the video, I hope. There it is. Let's take a look. You're going to see it over here on the right. Here it comes. Here comes your bolide. Like a boom. Let's do it again. Now, interesting how this appears to be falling directly down with the tail. So this is a slow-moving object. In fact, it appears to be free-falling at this point. Very cool bolide. Just not an earth changer, thankfully. Now, a Maryland girl finds an ancient tooth from a 50-foot-long megalodon in the Chesapeake Bay. And this is an area called the Calvert Cliffs, which is one of the greatest areas to search for megalodon teeth. As you can see here, all of these teeth probably were collected at the Calvert Cliffs. And her specimen, this little girl's Christmas find, is spectacular. Now, I used to own like hundreds of these teeth because my family is from the region, and they used to run a dredge operation which used to unearth thousands at a time. This is, in fact, a rare find and worth several $100s or more. But to this girl, I'm sure it's a priceless find. And judging from the grin on her face, well, I'm sure she'll remember it forever. Now, a significant dinosaur fossil discovery has been made in Colorado, and it is right up the road from us. In fact, it is in Alien Alan's boyhood home.
History is being made in the Royal Gorge area with a prehistoric discovery. History is being made in the Royal Gorge area with a prehistoric discovery. Tibia and fibula, which are the two lower leg bones, were found of a dinosaur. The scientists believe it belonged to the long neck sauropod, like the Brachiosaurus. And while this wasn't the first time bones have been discovered there, this time a citizen, not a scientist, found them. You can have your chance to do the same as well, and you can see them. They will be on display at the Royal Gorge Regional Museum and History Center.
So massive sauropod bones being found in the Royal Gorge somewhere on public lands by a citizen scientist. Awesome find. Way to go, bro. Look at the size of these bones. Absolutely mind-blowing. You can see the people working on them. And no, they're not giant humans. It's a sauropod, a plant-eating dinosaur. And that's a boom to knowledge. Proper prior planning prevents piss-poor performance. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this with like-minded people. Become a Patreon. Support the work we do. And we'll see you with the next boom.